You've been training hard, eating clean, making solid progress at the start, but all of a sudden it feels like that progress has dropped off a cliff. Good news for you, you're not a failure, you've not failed, you've just hit a plateau. It's something me and my clients encounter all the time. Today I'm gonna break down my top techniques that I share with all my clients when they reach a plateau to help you bust through that plateau, start making some serious trackable progress again. Buckle up, we're gonna fix this in the next 5 minutes. Let's go. Now, a lot of people have this idea of things like the natural limit and the fact that if they want to break through a plateau, they've got to train super hard, like a Rocky montage. I'm here to tell you that's not true. There are some simple techniques, scientifically proven, to help you bust through plateaus. The first of which, restructuring your rep range. This might sound contradictory because for a lot of people, they swear by the hypertrophy rep range of 8 to 12. You're trying to build muscle, you typically stay in the 8 to 12 rep range. I'm here to tell you that if your progress has stalled, it can be beneficial to swap up a few of your exercises and go for some lower rep ranges, 4 to 6, even changing your style so much as to more closely reflect a powerlifting training style. Let's say where previously you'd do bench press for a set of 10, then a set of 8, then a set of 8. How about now we work up to 2 or 3 top sets of 4 to 6? So quite heavy, almost powerlifter style. When you do this, you unlock extra little bits of gains because you're now training more so for strength than muscle size. But I've got good news for you. When you build strength, typically you build muscle size and you build definition too. So if you've not been shuffling up your rep ranges, try this one out. If you've been sticking in that high 8 to 12 rep range, dial it in, do some sets of 4 to 6. If you're more of a strength-based lifter, you've been doing 4 to 6, bump it up. 8, 10, 12, even 15 sometimes. I promise you the variety will hit your muscles in a different way and you will feel it the next day. Another great strategy I recommend and I swear by is integrating advanced intensity techniques. I'm sort of known for my intensity techniques. I have a bunch. I'll list off my favorite ones now, give them a try. The one everyone's heard of, a drop set. Do a heavy weight till you start to reach failure, drop the weight by a little bit, max out a little bit more, rep out a few more reps. I'm gonna take this a step further. Instead of doing a traditional drop set, you wanna do something called a double up set. That's where you start with a nice heavy weight, reach the point of near failure, then you half the weight and you double the reps. The trick with this is most people will not get double the reps in their first go. Take a couple of seconds, 1, 2, 3 second rest, make sure you hit that double the reps. If you add this into at least 1 exercise per workout, that's gonna feel unbelievable in terms of pump and it's gonna really destroy your muscles, help you break through that plateau. Another great technique, supersets. Typically people will just throw in the odd superset here and there. If you really wanna shake up your training and you feel like you've plateaued a little bit, how about restructuring some of your workouts to do exclusively superset? Great example of this is arm training. If I feel like my arms are stagnating, right now they're all right, I trained arms today, but if I feel like they're stagnating, instead of doing a bicep exercise, then a tricep exercise, oftentimes I'll just mix the two. So every single group of exercises is a bicep and a tricep. So I don't rest between the bicep and the tricep. This ups the intensity and creates an enormous pump in your arms for that example. But you can do this with other muscle groups. If you're doing chest, why not superset a press with a fly? Then move on to another exercise. A push-up with some sort of squeezing technique. When you superset movements, you get that extra little bit of intensity out of the movements. So whereby you might have reached just shy of failure, you're now pushing past the point of failure thanks to changing up the angle, recruiting a few more muscle fibers, and squeezing out the last little bit of effort. Another great intensity technique is what I call 2-second contractions. Sort of in the name what it is. We're gonna really accentuate the eccentric portion of the movement, make that nice and slow, nice and strong. And then when you contract, instead of just bouncing out of the top of the movement, you're gonna hold and squeeze that contraction for 2 seconds. In between every single rep. If you add this into an exercise, I promise you'll experience a pump like you would never believe. It's things like this where you just recruit a few extra muscle fibers, push yourself beyond the point of failure. They're gonna help your training bust through a plateau and unlock a little bit of extra growth for you. The third technique I use in order to break through plateaus, changing the training frequency or the training split. If you're like me, for the first couple of years of my training, I swore by a bro split. I would constantly train every body part independently throughout the week, and I did that over and over for a couple of years. The only issue with that is you tend to form a kind of a rhythm. Your body gets used to training certain muscle groups on certain days, and you don't get the same kind of delayed onset muscle soreness and therefore growth years down the line because your body almost adapts to it, right? A good way to get around this, shake it up a bit. If you've never done push-pull legs, give that a go for 6 months. I promise your muscles will feel it in a different way, you'll recover in a different way, and you'll unlock a little bit of extra gains. My fourth, final, and possibly most controversial tip is to consider something like a deload week. Now, I know what you're saying, Mike, I would never do a deload week, those are for pussies. And I hear you, that was me for the first couple of years of training. But let me tell you a little bit about your central nervous system and how much it can benefit from a deload week. See, when you push yourself close to absolute failure, which is what I do, it's what I teach my clients to do, we're at the gym to train and push ourselves to our limit. When you do that regularly for a long period of time, your central nervous system does take a bit of a beating. This is why when you leave the gym, you often feel absolutely rolled. you feel like you could crawl into bed and have a sleep for a week. That's because your central nervous system has been through it, right? You've really pushed yourself to the limit. There's been a lot of pressure, both on your muscles, but also on your overall nervous system. When you do something like a deload week, where you back off the weights for a little while, you reduce your weights by 30 to 40%, reduce your reps, you're pretty much resting every day, but you're still just putting a little bit of blood in the muscles. When you do something like that, you allow your central nervous system to fully recover. And when you get back to training the week after, you're gonna have some of the best training of your life, I promise. I know it feels like a bit of a step backwards, but if you're really hammering it over and over and over again, you're not seeing results, you're really pushing yourself to the limit. Sometimes less is more. Take a step back, reduce your weights for about a week or so, then try again next week, back to your normal weights. See how you feel. The worst thing that's gonna happen is you don't notice any difference, you're back to training how you were before. The best thing that's gonna happen, you're gonna get renewed motivation, renewed strength, your nervous system's gonna recover, you're gonna feel the best you ever have in training. Give it a go. Now, I promise you breaking through plateaus, and we've covered that, so I'm gonna review those 4 points right now. The first one, try and shake up your rep ranges a little bit. If you're always doing 8 to 12, add in some 4 to 6 every now and then, add in some strength work. Keep your body guessing. The second point, add in some of my advanced intensity techniques. Things like double up sets instead of just regular drop sets, supersets, 2-second contractions. All of these things are gonna help you recruit extra muscle fibers and push yourself beyond the point of failure. Try and shuffle up your workout split or your workout frequency. If you've never done push-pull legs, give that a go for a while. If you're constantly training every muscle group once a week, shuffle them around. Train some twice a week, train some once every 10 days. Keep your body guessing. And finally, if nothing else works, maybe it's time to back off a little bit. Take your foot off the gas just for a week, allow yourself to fully recover, then hit it hard the week after. Despite what it may feel like, you're not stuck in a plateau forever. A lot of people think that once they've reached a plateau, that's it, I've reached my natural limit. But as you can see, there are a lot of techniques we can employ, a lot of strategies we can use to connect the dots between your effort and your reward to keep you getting those gains like you deserve. Because if you're working out at the gym, you deserve to get results. If you like videos like this, where I break down different scientific methods to break through plateaus and elevate your training, subscribe. I release one every couple of days. That being said, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.